Hey everybody, this is the first we're doing this Kingdom Talks with and I chose Angie Baird to do this. I'm not sure if you know Angie Baird, but one thing I've got to say about Angie is this woman is a beast in real estate.
Thank you.
We have been working together now since 2019.
Yep.
Actually, I think it was the end of 18 that we started working together. And just to kind of set the stage, Angie hired her first assistant. I couldn't remember the exact year, but I thought I knew. But in September of 2019.
Yep.
And leading up to that, I remember I would get text messages whenever I would check my phone in the morning at 3 in the morning and see where you scheduled an inspection. And then you would be calling me at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning about other stuff. And that was a year that you was doing everything on your own till September of 2018 and or 2019. And that year we actually performed over 80 inspections for you.
Wow.
That was a crazy year.
Yep.
I just it kind of blows my mind whenever I look back at those numbers and think, man, you a lot of realtors have a hard time processing 24 transactions a year on their own, and here you did 80 that year before, and you hired an assistant over halfway through the year.
Yeah.
So and that assistant has turned into a phenomenal realtor also who's actually part of your new brokerage,
She
right?
is. She's
So Babs
awesome.
Babs is an awesome realtor. In fact, she's at the point now to where she has an assistant.
Yep.
So I'm excited about the venture you've taken forming Forge, and I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Um, what led you to start a brokerage, and where do you imagine it in 5 years?
Well, to be honest, I really wasn't planning to start a brokerage. I was planning to maybe just take over the brokerage where I was initially. And we had talked about it. But the more I thought about it, I was like, I think it would be hard for me to give up my brokerage to somebody. And especially if I had developed it into what it is today, I wouldn't want somebody else to take it over. And I just thought, it might be better and easier for everybody if I started my own. And so I really wasn't thinking about it. I came and showed a property to a client who was looking for an investment property. And at first, she was wanting some storage units. And I said, the return on your money really isn't all that great in a storage facility. I said, maybe an office space, something that you could rent out and fill up, and that would be great. And so I brought her to this building that was on the south side, close to where she lived. And as I was walking through it, it needed a few updates, but for the most part, it was beautiful. And I thought, this is the perfect office space for a brokerage, is what I was thinking. But I wasn't thinking about my brokerage. I was just thinking in general. And that's kind of what got my wheels spinning. And so I brought Babs with me one day and I said, hey, you got to see this building. It's pretty amazing. And so that started everything. So about 2 weeks in the making, I just really started brainstorming and I thought, what if I started my own and could get a building like this, and we could actually do this. And so my husband and I started brainstorming different ideas for names, and I wanted something that was strong and that sounded like we're going to conquer real estate. And
Yes.
so Forge just popped up into my mind. We were on our way to a football game in the car, and I said, "What about Forge?" And I texted Babs, and she's like, "I love it." So that's how it started. And then I heard about the movie The Forge, and Amy, my assistant, said, "Have you ever watched that movie?" And I said, "No, I haven't," but I began to watch the trailers and I loved what it stood for. And
Yes.
so that just sealed the deal. And I was like, that's it. So that's kind of what started the whole thing. It really wasn't anything I had been thinking about for years or months or anything. I mean, it just happened.
That's exactly
So
right.
yeah.
Where do you imagine it in 5 years? Or where would you like to see it in 5 years?
Yeah. So the building, we back up the building I showed this lady, I thought, well, we could rent that building and that would be better. I'm really not ready to purchase. But the guy that owned it, he said, well, I really would rather you just purchase it. And I said, well, that sounds great on paper, but I'm really not ready. And he said, well, what if I worked with you financially? And I said, hey, if you can work it out, I'll do it. And lo and behold, he worked it out. So I closed on it December 13th, which was my daughter's birthday. And so that was kind of special. And so we began to decorate and fill it up with furniture and all the things, and it came together quickly. But we have 4,300 square feet. That's a lot of square footage
It is.
for 7 people. And so my goal in 5 years would be to have all these offices full. You know, I don't want to be a broker that has so many people that it's out of control. And I really want to be involved in every realtor's transactions, and not to the point where I micromanage, but I want to know, do you need help? Are you struggling with
Exactly.
something? You know, do you need counsel somewhere? Because that's what I had, and I appreciated that. When I spent my time at Stellar, it was a great training and had a good time, learned a lot. And so I want to be able to pour that into other people. So,
Exactly.
yeah, I would love to fill all the offices up. And, you know, my goal would probably be about 18 people. So maybe not in 5 years, but
Yeah.
yeah.
What is your most exciting thing about starting Forge?
You know, I think, and I didn't realize it when I started it, but now that I've been in it for a month or two or three, it's 3 months. Um, I think being able to do things the way I want to do them.
Yes.
And not that I didn't like the way I was doing it before, but it just has given me this freedom of, oh, this is my business. Like I can change things up if I want. Um, and so I think that's exciting, and being able to um, really pour into people's lives and it come back to my business and something that I'm building. And that's exciting.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, what is the most worrisome thing about starting your own brokerage? I know that there's always worrisome things whenever you take a new
Yeah.
venture.
Yeah. So I'm not oblivious to what's going on around me. The market right now is not the best, but you know, you always, as a realtor, need to be prepared, and you take the slow times to get prepared. And
Yes.
so when the market bursts open and things change, I'll be ready. And so I think it's scary to start a business, no matter who you are, whether it's real estate or a Cold Stone Creamery. You know, there's going to be challenges. There's going to be risk. There's financial risk. There's time. Oh my goodness, the amount of time it takes to start a business is ridiculous. But I tell my kids anything worth having takes work,
Exactly.
and it will pay off.
Well, the one thing I do have to say about Forge that I really like, and I mean, even I'll bring one of your agent's assistants, which is a new agent, into it. Her husband's starting a new business right now too,
Mm-hmm.
and but the one thing that we all have in common is we know that it's not us that's the provider. It's
Mm-hmm.
God that's our provider,
Right.
and He's going to see us through if we continue to follow His direction. And so
Yep.
I'm excited about what He's doing. But your most worrisome thing isn't even in your hands,
Right.
it's in His hands.
I pray
So
every
that's
day on the way to work.
that's awesome.
God,
Yep.
please make my phone ring today
Yep.
because I'm out of control.
What is your favorite memory in real estate?
I think it was actually like a year ago. I closed a sale with, and I didn't even know it was going to be my favorite memory, but at closing, the buyer, she was a single mom of 2 girls, and she just started bawling right in the middle of closing. And I'm like, are you okay? And she said, yeah. She said, I just thought I would never get to this point to where, she said, he hurt me so bad, her ex-husband, and he hurt me financially. He hurt me, you know, emotionally. And she said, I never thought I would get to this point where financially I could afford my own home. And she said, this, I've worked so hard to get here. And she said, it just means more than you know to be able to buy a home. And so that was just, you know, a glimpse of being able to help people and truly pouring into them and getting to know them. And so that was fun. I think my very first open house was one of my best memories. One of our best friends, they listed their home with me, and it was in Cascada Lakes, a beautiful home, and it was a large home, so it was a great first listing. And I had an open house, did not know what I was doing, but I thought, you know, just just act like you know what you're doing. That's all you
Yep.
got to do.
The
So
famous real estate term, fake it till you make it.
I guess how you make it. So I had me some cookies. This was back when realtors could provide cookies and drinks, and had my little sign up, and I had my flyers ready, and I looked the part. I was scared, but I looked the part, and it was great. I had 30 people come to my open house, and 30 families. I mean, it was like one right after the other. There were so many people parked out in the street, and my broker drove by. She called me and she goes, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm great. This is the best thing ever." And she said, "Well, I just wanted you to know this is not normal. This is not normal for people to have 30 people at an open house."
Yes.
I'm like, "Well, that's because God's in this, and it's all good. It's all going to work out."
Yep.
And yeah, so that was fun.
That's always fun stuff. Well, now I'm going to shift gears a little bit, and something that happens in real estate is needed a lot of times. But why do you think it's important to have good relationship with vendor partners, whether it be inspectors and lenders and
Mhm.
title companies, and I mean the list just goes on and on.
hmm So I think as realtors, we have to be careful not to steer people one direction or
Yes.
another. And it's important for people to know that I don't get anything in return from sending business, to your way or my lender's way, or I don't get a kickback from people. It's not about that at all.
Right.
But they look to me for every aspect of real estate because they trust me. That's why they're using me in the first place. And so they don't know what they're doing, and they need somebody to guide them and to put them in good hands of someone who's going to take good care of them, whether it's an inspection or an insurance agent or a lender, mortgage company, or title company. And so it's just important that I have a good list of people that I trust to send them to, because there are times when a lot of times they'll just say, "You just tell me who you trust, and that's who I want to use." And I make sure they know it's your choice. I'm
Yes.
not picking for you. But here's three really good people that I trust. And then they make a decision from there.
Yes. And I think that's important
hmm
also. Now, naturally, I this is put on by Kingdom, so I want to ask a question, but of you about Kingdom. But what is it that strengthens your bond and trust with the people that at Kingdom Inspections for helping keep your clients protected?
So I think first and foremost, what you stand for, that you are a Christian
Yes.
and that you have a relationship with God. And so it's important to you to do what's right. And I think, in the professional world, there's so many people that are just in it for the money, and they're just in it to sell a house and to get another inspection. And that's not what we're here to do. We're here to help people. And so I know that you're looking out for their best interest. And I know that you're training your guys to do that as well. And so that's important to me. Um, and that you're thorough. I can't tell you how many people say, "Oh my gosh, George is so thorough. I had no idea he was going to find everything wrong with the house." I'm like, that's what he gets paid to do. You always tell
Well,
people.
like I tell everybody, I'm a paid pessimist. I get
Yes.
paid to tell you all the bad stuff.
Yeah. So they feel like their money is going to a good cause, like they're getting their money's worth, and that's important. So
Yes.
I I trust you with my homes. You've done inspections on all of my homes. And so that's what I tell people. This is who I personally pick. And so, again, it's your choice. Here's some other really good inspectors. I have more than one that I send them to, but then give them the option. And a lot of times they're like, "Well, I want to use who you trust." And so they end up using you, and they're always very pleased with the outcome.
Awesome. Well, I enjoyed getting to share with you on this first one.
Yeah.
So
Thank you for
it's been fun.
It has been fun. I appreciate you asking, and I think your business is going to flourish even more. It's been blessed, but
Yes, it has.
I think you are very fortunate to be where you're at as well, and you have a great, strong business, and it's only going to
Yes.
get better. So,
Yes. Well, and that's what we're excited about, is kind of sharing this and kind
Yeah.
of breaking into that next level is where we're actually looking to go. But we enjoy our partnership with you and our relationship with our clients and all of those things. But most importantly, I believe in what you're doing with Forge. I really do. And I love that you brought up the movie, because all of that was right at the same time.
Yeah.
And it was just that the mentality you have, and when you look at what Forge the movie talks about and what it talks about in the Bible, when we're forging others, is we're pouring into them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you're wanting to do, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what's amazing with all of this. So
Yep.
but I enjoyed sharing with you. So
Thank you. So tell me, what are your goals with Kingdom?
well, it's one of those little pieces where we are trying to grow into one of the bigger inspection companies in the Oklahoma City area, but doing it under God's power, not our own power. Because I've realized that I can push everything that I want to, but if He ain't in it, then it ain't going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And so, one of the things that we pride ourselves in is we're one of the top Google reviewed companies in the Oklahoma City area. In fact, this morning, me and Kathy were kind of talking about that and searching different ones. And there's only one that I can find that's higher rated than us as of right now on Google,
Wow.
which we sit at 613 and on Google, not including
Reviews?
Facebook, not including any of the others. We're at 613 or 618 on Google right now, 13 or 18. But to me, that's important, because all of ours, I can actually go back and show you an inspection that goes to it, or show you how I got them, because I just don't call up my buddies and say, "Hey, give me a good review."
Right.
But the one thing that we also pride ourselves is we are human. We make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been times that we've owned up to some mistakes, and we've paid out some pretty hefty price tags from stuff we missed. But that's because we follow what our motto is, and that's Proverbs 24:3. Through wisdom a house is built, but by understanding it is established. So we want to give everybody a piece of understanding whenever they're buying that house, to understand the true condition of the house. And if we miss something major, we're willing to
make it right
as best as we can. But
Yeah.
they've got to also work with us too.
Right.
So, but that's the one thing that we enjoy, and that I enjoy about being a business owner, as one of the most reviewed in the Oklahoma City area.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. Well, you deserve that. I think that
yes.
you do a great job, and I hear nothing but great things about your
Yep.
inspections.
So, okay. Well, I enjoyed it, and look forward to spending many more years together in the industry.
Yes, I do as well.
Yep. Y'all have a good day.